Welcome everybody to episode 2 of our Teewah Beach to Double Island Point adventure. In this episode we head over to the western side and try to make it through to Rainbow Beach. So join us and see what we can get up to and see how Ray's car will go. And we're going to have some fun on the way.
Cheers.
Yeah. So in part 2 of our adventures up to Teewah Beach, we don't know exactly what we're going to be doing. A lot depends on the tides and the sand and the weather, and see what we get up to. So we're going to trial out Ray's new Trailblazer, and he's been doing a few little modifications to it. It's got a bull bar on it, it's got the tow bar.
It's got recovery points.
Yeah.
So we're ready to play.
Yeah. See if we can't get it stuck.
We're going to try hard.
Yeah, so stay tuned, guys. So after packing up camp, we headed up to Double Island Point. Beautiful morning. We thought we'd sit here for a little while, just take in the views. The surface quite small. Ray's had a bit of a fish out there for a while. And it's just lovely to sit here and relax. If you're a surfer, quite often the waves can be really nice. It close outish today, but other than that, quite good. So then we headed down to the leisure track, and from here we cross over to the other side of the headland. It's the leisure track coming up. It's only a short little drive. It's a little bit soft sand in the entry there. There we go. Just keep your momentum up. Maybe second gear, first gear if you want. Don't need low range at the moment. And we come in through this track here. It's only about 1 kilometre or so across the headland, and you come up to the camera here again. So if you're coming in from the Rainbow Beach side, you will need permits for this section. You don't necessarily need permits for where we're heading today. But if you come in past here, yep, there's the number plate recognition camera. Now at the moment there's 2 big lagoons out here at the moment. Don't turn left, you'll see why in a little while. Actually turn right and head on up the beach there. Now if you stop just after you turn right, there is toilets there. They're big drop toilets, but they do have like a flushing type system, I suppose. But yeah, just head out along the edge here. There's a couple of little tiny water crossings, particularly at low tide. Yeah, don't try and attempt this at high tide. You really have to watch your tides up here. So Ray's getting a little bit of breakfast ready for us. Good on you, Ray. When conditions are right, out in front of me here now can be the world's longest wave. Breaks all the way from the headland a couple of 100 metres up to the right, and it breaks all the way down nearly to the coloured sands down there. So we're going to drive all this way back to pick up anybody that's ridden a wave down there, because it's just way too far to walk. As we came in, this water crossing was only about 10 centimetres deep. It's already that deep now, so just watch the tides. You can get access up to there at low tide. If you come in as the tide's coming in, you're stuck there till the afternoon. So these lagoons have developed over the last few years, and they change all the time. So just check when you get there. Have a look around just to make sure that you're not going to get caught out. Yep, getting a bit deeper already. And at high tide it's going to be over the top of the car almost, I reckon. Now, just for a bit of fun, I did go through this particular water crossing, yeah, unless your car's really set up for deep water, I suggest it's probably not a good idea. And of course that is salt water, so we're going to have to give the car a really good thorough wash when we get back home. Now, I did call on the two-way to Ray to tell him not to come through that one. Now, that was his car's not fitted with the dip breathers yet, or a snorkel, so that's the next thing on his list. As I say, it's not a great idea to be driving through salt water like that, but just to demonstrate, yeah, get out and check the depths just to make sure that you can get through. But at the moment, if you turn right after you've come in, so that's the entry just down there on the left, don't go across that particular lagoon there, come up to the right here, and we can actually drive around in between the two lagoons that are there at the moment. But this could change at any time, so just always check. So if you turn right at those at that camera, come around here, and you can actually get through here at the moment. Yeah. Don't go up against the trees there. So for obvious reasons, this section is called the Sticks, and it's where those sand dunes are collapsing continually into the sea, taking the trees with them, and of course the trees will just lie all over the place, and sometimes you can get through, sometimes you can't. You can see just here where the sand is collapsing down onto the beach, and it continually does this. It's just a natural sort of thing. Just try and pick your way through. Here comes Ray. Hang on, he's stuck on a stick there. No, he's made it. Good on you, Ray. His car's doing really well. That sand can be fairly soft. That little edge there that Ray's driving next to, don't drop your wheels over things like that. You can actually tip your car. And of course, sometimes you've got to get around by driving into the water a little bit as well. Some days the sticks are open, some days they're not. The Iceman. Have a look on the Iceman's Facebook page thing. If you just check, do a search for that, the Iceman. He just about every day he puts up a little post to say whether or not you can actually get through past here. So if the sticks are blocking it, you may be able to get through the rocks which are up ahead. And if you can't get through the rocks, you're probably not going to get past the sticks either. And it's only accessible, say, for about an hour or so each side of low tide, and it continually changes, and those big sand cliffs there can drop down and crush your car, so it's a little bit risky, but a lot of people like this drive. Yeah, this set of sticks here, we're going to have to go around out into the water a little bit. I saw a news report the other day, and it was obviously somebody's footage they took, where a car was actually washed away. It's quite a common sort of a thing, particularly near the rocks where you can get hung up on the rocks. And in some of the shops in Rainbow Beach, they've actually got big honour boards with lots of photos of all the cars that get stuck there. There's old cars, there's new cars, there's all sorts of things get stuck around on this track. So it is risky. Please take care and take the advice of locals if you can find it, particularly the Iceman. Those coloured cliffs are just spectacular. We're getting closer to Rainbow Beach. Just above us on the left there is the Carlo sand blow. You can actually take a walk up there and get to it from the town itself, and it's well worthwhile doing. Quite a bit of a walk though. And right here is where the rocks normally are, the Mudlo Rocks. And normally it's climbing up over rocks and down into rocks with your car, of course. But at the moment, the rocks are all covered in sand and it's just a straight drive through. Watch your speed through here. This is quite a popular beach. There are speed limits in place, but you can bring your car down here, park it up for the day, have a picnic, have a surf, have a swim, whatever you want to do, go fishing. But yeah, this section is usually quite big lumpy rocks under the sand there. But today, quite easy. Now we're coming up on the beach exit here, straight ahead of us. You actually see the red and yellow from the surf lifesavers. Doing a good job, guys. We can just work our way up here, up the ramp. Again, watch out for pedestrians. They can be all over the place here. People think it's a beach, which it is, of course, but can tend to forget that there are cars coming in and out, and it is a gazetted road with speed limits, and they do police it as well. On the left there, that's the famous Rainbow Beach coloured rainbow stairs. We'll come up into the car park now at the top, and Ray and I are going to go and enjoy lunch at the surf club.
Cheers.
Yeah. So we're going to head back to camp. This time we're going to go via the Freshwater track. In case you're wondering, we did just have 2 mid-strength beers, so we are right to drive. Yeah, they do police up here quite stringently and even do breathalyzers on the beach. So we're just going to drive out through town. There's fuel in Rainbow Beach, so BP on the left here. There's actually a big Shell on the right hand side as well. And we're going to continue on out of town now, and just a couple of kilometres on the left will be the turn into the Freshwater track. as you can see, this is the access road into the freshwater track. It does get better, particularly as we get up to this day use area. So you can drive a two-wheel drive vehicle up to this point, and there's a big picnic area on the right hand side here. If you go beyond here, you're going to need permits, and yet again there's another camera up ahead. This track will wind through beautiful rainforest areas. I quite like this track. I prefer this track to the other one, despite the corrugations earlier in the piece. Once you get past that, it's actually quite a pleasant drive. Big trees everywhere. Track does get a bit narrow in a few places, but it's okay. Yeah, you may have to stop and let people through, or they'll have to stop and let you through, one of the two. And pretty much from here on in, it'll be four-wheel drive. A lot of guys will try and do it all in two-wheel drive, but that just churns up the track, so put it into four-wheel drive and the car will just ride over all this sort of stuff. Nice and easy. The freshwater track goes for about 20 kilometres. Most of the time you're only doing about 20 kilometres an hour, so it's nearly an hour's drive to get across. If it's on a weekend, you've got a lot of stopping and starting to let people go through, so it can take a couple of hours. I remember it taking nearly 3 or 4 hours one time. The terrain changes a little bit, or the trees rather. So you're out of the rainforest here and into the dry sclerophyll forest. Oops, there's another car coming, I'll just pull over. And now we're coming into the freshwater area. Up on the left there is the freshwater campground. It's got hot showers and toilets at campsites, of course. And there's a big day use area down here as well. Very popular, particularly on the weekends. And this car park can be chock-a-block full sometimes. There's picnic tables. There's actually electric barbecues there as well. Flushing toilets, beautiful spot, and big goannas that run all over the place and try and steal your lunch, so just watch out for them. We're going to head straight through and get down onto the beach again as we're heading back to camp.
Beach, Ray, I'll get you to come by and I'll call you through.
Okay, I'll wait here.
Okay, come through.
the race car seems to be handling it all quite well. We haven't had it stuck yet. Just remember, Ray, slow down for these washouts. It can get a bit steep sometimes. That one's not too bad though. We're just looking for a campsite. A little bit different tonight. Just looking for a little flat grassy area if we can find one. And yeah, this will do us. It's been blowing a gale the last couple of days at times, so we're just ducking down behind the sand dunes here and setting up camp for the night.
So what's on the menu tonight, Ray?
Lamb ragu.
Lamb ragu.
We're having it with a bit of rice because I'm lazy. Can't be bothered making mashed potatoes.
This is our final morning, so we thought we'd head back up to Double Island Point, have a bit of a swim, and then just head back towards home. So back down the beach again. It's a long, long way. It's a bit over an hour to drive from one end to the other, and that's at low tide too. At high tide, remember, this gets quite soft. And look here, these the ambulance drivers doing some practice there. I was wondering why they were up in the soft sand there, but it's actually our ambulance crews actually doing some driver training in soft sand. Good on you guys. So just south of the little Teewah village is the exit. You can't go past here. There's camping areas down ahead there, and you can't drive on the beach there. So we're going to head up out of the beach. Here comes Ray. And that becomes well done. Let's go and get some air back into these tyres and head off home. Yeah, just on the right near the shops at Noosa North Shore is the car spa. You want to run your car through that, get rid of some sand off it. I actually prefer to do it at home and spend quite a few hours hosing all the salt and sand out of it. Back across the barge now and on our way home.
Okay, so the two old parts from the Muppets have successfully managed Teewah Beach. We
Get home, yep.
Yeah, we didn't get too stuck in anything. In fact, the Ray's Trailblazer performed really, really well. So thanks for watching this video, guys. We didn't know what to expect. That beach is the softest I've ever seen. It's the most churned up. I couldn't believe how much it was churned up. But Ray's car performed really well, and we made it without getting stuck at all, too stuck at all. Yeah, remember, like, subscribe, and yeah, comment if you've got any other suggestions, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Puppy, Nanny Rose is going to go and drive through Nolan's. Bananas! That's how you do Nolan.